Well, here we go again. Nearly Premier League kickoff time for United against Arsenal, and we've been linked with the Premier League kickoff time. More players, which I'm happy to see from numerous sources. One of them being, let me just give it a shout out because this account on X is usually quite spot on, and they're the ones what kind of broke some news on Baleba as well. So it is IndyKayla News. IndyKayla News, it says Manchester United will make firm inquiries for Adam Wharton of Palace, first choice in brackets, Morton Humeland of Sporting Lisbon, and Edison of Atalanta, who's on the shortlist. Now, I know a couple of them quite well. I looked more into Edison of Atlanta, and at least his stats look very good. Now, for me, this is what I like to hear. The Sun Sport and Sky Sports have also confirmed some of this information, which is good to hear as well, because if we can get one, or even, let's go for it, two of these over line, looking at the 40 to 50 million price bracket. Okay, so potentially it'll be up to 50 million, which would be half, well, probably less than half of the Baleba fee, which would have been over, or might still be over 100 million mark. So I'm really happy about this, to hear from this, and I hope we can go into, I wouldn't mind Adam Wharton, obviously with his Premier League experience. He played for Palace last season. But let me just go a little bit deeper into the stats very quickly now and show you, just in case you're not familiar with any of these players and what they have done last season or so far with their clubs. Starting off with Adam Wharton, like I said, I wouldn't mind this one at all because he has got some Premier League experience and he would provide a good screen for the United defence, or let's say the United three central defenders, which we massively need. Now, Premier League stats last season, he had 20 matches, 2 assists. He started in 16 of them 20 matches with a rating just under 7 out of 10. And you can see his player traits now. This is with FOTMob, but they're normally quite accurate and really good with in-depth stats. So as you can see, 60% defensive contributions. That's what I'm looking at here. Okay, because this is what United need. Now, just going down now into some more defensive capabilities. Now, obviously, green color is going to be good, orange average, red low. So pass accuracy is 78%, and this is compared to all of the Premier League players of his or similar position, which, as you can see, is 8.5%. So this is the ranking of players in the same position across the Premier League, which is a little bit worrying because, look, some kind of stats don't lie. They're not always accurate. However, they do give you a good idea. Successful crosses, okay, but that's not what we're looking for. And chances created are in the green, 75% percentile and 80% percentile. And look, if we're looking for a dribbler, unlike Baleba, successful dribbles only 2, so 11.7% with players compared in his position. I'm more interested in this, the defending style here. We're looking at recoveries, 102, that's only 54% out of players in the same position. Session 1 in the final third, that means pressing high. I'm more interested in the recoveries or interceptions, which interceptions 20 is 54%, recoveries 54%. And yeah, he was dribbled past 27 times, which means 28%. So he's on the lower end of the players. So let's say Kante for Chelsea, for example, he's probably 90% up there. Okay. So as you see, if you are looking at that in the defending kind of aspect of the central midfielder, his stats aren't great. So, but that is in the Premier League. However, if that's his performance in the Premier League compared to Baleba's, then yeah, that is a bit of a worry. However, I'll still like him, get him integrated and see if he can grow. He's only 21 years of age. Now, this Morton Human, oh, I'm pronouncing that totally wrong. Hulmand, Morton Hulmand. He's 26 years old. He's a big lad, and he was playing and likely going to be known with the gaffer as well, as he was at Sporting. in Portugal. Now, if you look at his player traits, you can see his attributes are mostly in the green. His defensive contributions aren't as much as Adam Wharton. I'm calling him Adam Wharton. And yeah, he joined Sporting 2023, 98 matches. And we've got to remember, yes, this is not in the English Premier League. Yes, we know that. He's a Danish player, obviously. Let's just go a little bit deeper look into his stats then, okay? Now, when you look at the green bars compared to Adam Wharton's red and orange bars, pass accuracy, 91%, successful passes, 100%. So he's basically in the top end of players in that league of similar position. Accurate long balls, long ball accuracy, 71%. Possession, green bars, aerial duels run, 100%. That's a nice stat there. Recoveries, 34%, which is quite a worry. We want someone who can recover the ball. And duels won 74%. Aerial duels won 100%. Okay. So, okay, he's going to be of good stature. Look, pedigree. I have heard of him. I've seen a few highlights, as you do, but I can't say I've been watching the Portuguese league non-stop. But again, you got to look at the quality. He's even come in. I would rather have a workhorse in that position, like a Kante, someone who can break the lines. He looks like a sizable figure who would be a good blocker. But I do like the look of Edison at Atalanta. Now, Edison, 26 years old. Atalanta, 139 games, matches, and I just like the look at his stats and his defensive capabilities. Okay, so when we're looking at his pass accuracy, we're looking at 87%. And here we're looking at interceptions, 94%. So he's close to the top for interceptions. Recoveries, 98%. These are the stats I'm looking at. Possession won in the final third, 95%. Okay, so just by looking at these stats and looking at my analytic brain, what I've done professionally for professional clubs in the past as well, I'm looking at and I'm thinking, this is someone who can recover the ball, he can get in on the ball player of the opposition, he can hassle them, he can be like a guard dog, he can hunt them down and win back possession, which is what we need. Aerial duels won 85%, and duels won, which is also battling on the ground, 70%. Green bars everywhere. I like that. Tackles won 91%. Okay. So for me, that is looking favourable. That is something I wouldn't mind in the squad, even if it's going to try and get the best out of Casemiro now and Ugarte. It might give him a little bit of a kick up the backside. Okay, so if we are in for one of these three, okay, Adam Wharton is probably the less riskier. However, if we do take a risk on Edison and it does work out, we're going to get more reward. So, up at United, come on the Red Devils. We're playing the Gooners very soon. Let's give it to them. Follow, watch the videos here. Thank you.